so welcome to another Foxy TV. We have our first Foxy Face Off in quite some time that has popped up for us to a Foxy TV on this week. So we started our Monday morning off down the south side of Brisbane. So this one is set down in Gleneagle. Gleneagle is, like, I would say, bordering 45 minutes an hour south of the CBD. We are in acreage, we have cows, we have sheep. So the team had a lovely little drive on the way down there, and then we have Morgan v. Jorja. So we have a newbie to Foxy Face Off this time. So Jorja is one of our up-and-coming emerging stylists, and she hasn't had the opportunity to do this yet. It's a little bit of fun. And Morgan is a tested true Foxy Face Offer. All right, so they went out this morning. We have gone for completely different colour palettes. So the style of this property, it was one block, they're subdivided into two, and they've done two smaller lot homes on this. This is actually a type of property that we see a lot in Brisbane. On the south side in particular, when you're half an hour to that 1 hour out, you have a lot of acreage. We obviously have a lot of big grand homes, but then we have a lot of these smaller lot homes. Obviously, we're needing to fit a lot more people in. Now, you can see they have a smaller footprint, and we also have an extraordinarily long hallway. Now, that is one of the things that our client has given us a brief on to try and distract from this extra long hallway, try and make some magic happen as far as making that living room feel nice and big. We've gone for more of a contemporary spin on one, and then a soft and feminine palette on the other. Again, our job is to make it to appeal as many people as we can. The clients reached out to us. They're not locals. They drove up. They did a 9-hour drive to come up to Brisbane and get their property. That's an investment property for them. They did a 9-hour drive to come up here and get it ready for sale. She called me Friday afternoon 1 week ago. It was like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. They walked in, and it wasn't in the condition that they had hoped it to be in. So they had spent this last week getting the property amazingly prepped. They've had painters, they had carpet, curtains, landscapers, everybody, electricians, everyone has been through to make the property look amazing. And on top of that, they spent their entire week doing a repaint of the internal. We had very yellow-based hog's bristle walls with extremely brown carpet adjacent to lighter grey tiles. It didn't feel like it was seamless. It stood out as far as a photo went. Our clients were amazing, and she could recognise that, called me on Friday night for some advice, and unfortunately I agreed that she had to do a big paint job, and that's what they spent their week doing. She handed it over us to yesterday afternoon. They went back for their 9-hour drive. We were on site with the gardeners this morning, and let's look at the end result. The properties were quite tight. I did get a phone call from Morgan and Jorja actually while they were on site. That's why part of our strategizing of making sure that it's perfect. All right, so here's the end result. Walking straight in, this property, I'm guessing this is towards the front. This one doesn't have an extremely long hallway. And we get a full bam of colour as soon as you walk in. You can see the difference in how those rooms, how brighter they feel. The paint job here is 100% worth that time and the effort they've put in. Now, we are quite compact. We did decrease down to three chairs around our dining table, and we have a beautiful outlook there. That three-piece setting fits there so perfectly, really trying to accentuate that feeling of space between the indoor and outdoor living. You can see they've carried the pink through to the master bedroom, is something we continually do. Master bedroom reflects the colour palette throughout. There's a lot of cushions on that couch. There is no room for bottoms on seats, but it looks pretty good. So I do love that. We did make the decision to compromise on our coffee table to make sure that we did have plenty of thoroughfare. That's something we don't often do, but in this situation, it was far more important to make sure we could get through to the outdoor space rather than make it so we had the coffee table in there. All right, so then you go through to the blue. Again, you can see the difference on the space of the room. And then part of what Morgan has done here is really focus on bringing the eye to the end of the hallway. Now, that is helping us to distract from how long the hallway is, rather than having a console table or anything to bring attention to what you're walking past. The eye is entirely on the end of the hallway. So you've got Sophia in that snapshot helping her style that one. Colour palette all the way throughout. Again, had to make the decision to compromise on that coffee table, but you can see it's worth it to make sure we get a dedicated dining space in there. Without a dining space, it really is a big question mark for a buyer. Now, another trick that we do use to make a space feel bigger is to use a high bar. A high bar is really great at making sure that there's no block of furniture down low. High bar allows a lot of light to come through, and you can see that one's done really, really well there. All right, so blue, grey and black versus light pink, grey and white. What will it be? I have a partial favourite to blue. I do love the balance of everything that's in that property that Morgan's done. However, I think pink takes my token this time. What do you reckon? Vote in the comments. You have property 1 for J Jorja and you've got property 2 for Morgan. Let us know what is your favourite. Property 1 is pink, property 2 is blue, and we will tally the votes up.